Hello and welcome back. Have you ever watched a movie and wondered, what would a psychiatrist said about this character or that scene? Well, this is your chance. Keep watching. My name is Dr. Ruben Gagarin. I'm your favorite family psychiatrist. And in this Oscar season, we are talking about mental health issues in one of the Oscar-nominated movies this year. Let's dive in.
And now,
This is Oscar night.
Congratulations, welcome to the Oscar.
Oscar nominations are out this year. I don't know about you, but I do have a lot of mixed feelings about how the movies are being picked and who is the winner and who is the loser. But one of the movies nominated for the Best Picture this year is definitely worthwhile to talk about from mental health perspective.
It's been celebrated by the Critics' Choice Awards, the Golden Globes, and now The Holdovers has been nominated for 7 BAFTAs and 5 Academy Awards, including Best Actor Paul Giamatti, Best Supporting Actress Da'Vine Joy Randolph, Best Screenplay, and the Best Picture of the Year, The Holdovers.
Have you watched it? Well, if not, you must. There could be some spoilers in this video, but I'll try to avoid it as much as I can. It's an instant classic, have been made by Alexander Payne. The actor's work is stunning. In that movie, there are so many mental health themes are brought up. There is loss and grief, abandonment, lots of depression, toxic masculinity, narcissism, you name it, it's there. However, the movie is made in such a way that it has a lot of warm feeling. It almost engulfs you and you can't stop watching it. The movie is set in 1970 in a prep school Barton, somewhere in New England. One student, Angus, has to stay behind because his family is too busy to pick him up for Christmas. So he's left under supervision of a reluctant teacher, Paul Henham, and Mary Lamb, the cafeteria manager. Briefly about characters. Paul is a jaded, strict, cynical teacher of antique literature and history. He is sarcastic, profane, he uses colorful insults, and he is generally hated by students and staff alike. The faculty pity him. He has no family, so he has nowhere to go this Christmas anyway. Later in the movie, he tells us that his mother had passed away when he was young, and he was happy to leave his father at the age of 15 when he got scholarship for Barton. He tends to deal with his issues by drinking and self-isolation.
I find the world a bitter and complicated place, and it seems to feel the same way about me.
The second character is Angus. He's a brilliant but troubled student. He picks up fights with his peers, he argues with teachers. He had been kicked out of the previous school, so Barton is his last chance. If he blows this placement, his next stop is military academy. He has to stay behind for Christmas because his mother is too busy to pick him up because she's traveling with her new entitled rich husband. Angus is not the only student who passed Paul's course, but actually got B+. That seems to be the highest grade on Paul's books. Although no one mentions depression throughout the movie, but you can see that both of the characters we're talking about, they present quite depressed. Paul is angry, he has no energy or motivation to change anything, although he hates his predicament. He has given up on relationships, professional development, he stopped writing. It seems as if he lost all hope to achieve anything in life. He doesn't even care about his health, he drinks too much, he doesn't take care of himself, he expresses his anger through sarcasm and insults. Angus's depression is quite typical for teenagers. Instead of being withdrawn and sad, he's more frustrated, he's seething with negative energy, he tries to pick up fights, but you can see that he's also quite hopeless and, to be honest, scared. He does not see his future in military, and he's afraid that he may be kicked out of Barton, and military school is the next step. Paul and Angus present differently at first, but later in the movie we learn that Paul used to be the same way. Like Angus, he was kicked out of school, but that time was for violence towards his roommate, who wrongly accused him in plagiarism. Like Angus, Barton Academy is his last stop. He has nowhere to go. Both Paul and Angus seem to be dealing with similar identity crisis. Paul is dealing with midlife and Angus with adolescence. We all generally go through this 3 times in our lives. Every time when we discover new great freedoms, we have a pressure to adjust our identity so we can take advantage of new opportunities and new possibilities. First time, when we are toddlers, we discover that we can actually move in space independently. We don't have to be carried around, so we can climb stairs, we can run around the house, but we are limited by the boundaries of our house and our parents. When we become teenagers, we start feeling that the world is our oyster because we can actually move around within the world. We can take a bus, we can fly, teenagers drive. There is even an expression that teenagers are toddlers with wheels. When we get to middle age, we hit midlife crisis. At that point, hopefully we are financially stable enough to have a true freedom of choice. But we are limited by our physical capacity, we have urgency because of our finite time to realize ourselves, and we are limited by social norms, expectations, and responsibilities. Take me, for example. I have a stable, well-respected job, I love my colleagues. After a recent career experiment, I realized that I don't want to move up career-wise. I love my family, wife, kids. A couple of years ago, we built this beautiful house and planted some trees around it. I'm relatively financially stable. Sounds great? Yes, but I got depressed. Like Paul, I didn't care so much about my lifestyle choices. I lost motivation, energy, got somewhat cranky. But fortunately, through the years, I learned how to express my emotions, so I spoke openly to my wife. I even saw a therapist a couple of times, and I joked a lot with my friends and colleagues about my midlife crisis. So through all of this communication, I figured that my next step is to be a bit more creative, to start this YouTube channel. Well, here I am. It seems as if neither Paul nor Angus are fully aware of the gravity of their depression. If they were, they should have asked for help, professional help, counseling, maybe taking medication, especially Paul. But the problem is that guys, including myself, we are conditioned in a way that it is not okay to talk about our feelings, because this is a sign of weakness, and it is not okay to come across as weak. As a result, many men don't even acknowledge how they feel, so they let all of these emotions build up inside like a pressure cooker without the valve. So one day they blow up, and sometimes it results in aggression, violence, putting themselves and others in danger. Many get arrested, they end up in jail. Very telling example that 93% of prison population in the US are men. Half of them are diagnosed with mental illness, and I'm sure that many more just did not get a chance to see a psychiatrist. However, women, over the years of development, they learn the proper language, they more openly talk about emotions. It's okay for a woman to ask for help, so they do. If you look at community sample, 2/3 of patients who are looking for professional help are women. It should come as no surprise that in the movie, neither Paul nor Angus are looking for professional help. As a matter of fact, they trigger a crisis in a mental health institution. Watch the movie. But fortunately, they have Mary Lamb, the main female character, who suffers from tremendous grief and loss. And one day she has a breakdown and she started opening up, almost like modeling how one should talk about the feelings.
You don't tell a boy that's been left behind at Christmas that nobody wants him? What's wrong with you?
That seems to be a critical moment in the movie, and after that, Paul and Angus, they started lowering their guard, and they started sharing some of their experiences and talk about their feelings somewhat.
But you've got time to turn things around. Yeah, I was going to tell you the same thing.
Without spoiling the end of the movie, I can tell you that all 3 characters had the catharsis, but it is bittersweet. You have to watch the movie to appreciate it. Including this video, it is okay to reach out for help. Let this team out little by little. Start with trusted friend like protagonist of the movies, and consider seeking out professional help. However, if you or your loved ones are in crisis, call 988. That is a mental health crisis line throughout Canada and the US. You can call 911 if you need urgent, immediate help. Get yourself to the nearest hospital to speak with mental health professional. Please subscribe to my channel and check out other videos. I find real life is so much more interesting and intricate than fiction that I started this channel, and I have been making videos about real life people who struggle with mental health issues. I change details here and there, but I always stick with the story.